And welcome now to our Bob and Ray public service feature, Widen Your Horizons, the educational segment of our show where we help guide you to a fuller, happier life by acquiring knowledge and skills. Today, we're going to learn the art of operating a television set. And to lecture on that subject, we have with us Mr. Harley Wolford of the Peerless Video Corporation. I want to thank you first for coming by, Mr. Wolford. None of the bigger TV manufacturers had a full-time demonstrator they could send out.
Well, we don't feel that our obligation ends with selling the set, Mr. Elliott. We discovered when the company was formed in 1937 that very few people knew how to operate a television receiver. And at Peerless, we believe that that's equally true today.
You mean people just buy TVs and then leave them sitting in their homes?
That's right. Of course, the set makes a nice status symbol, even if you don't know how to use it, but we think there's a lot more enjoyment to be derived if the owner can turn it on and watch the pictures.
Well, I certainly agree with that. And I'm sure our listeners are missing a great deal by not knowing how to turn their TV sets on. So suppose you get right on with the demonstration. Tell us which knob here on the front of your demonstration set is the on-off button.
Well, now on this Peerless set, it's not a button on the front that does that, Mr. Elliott. It's a small switch underneath on the bottom.
A switch?
Right here. Now lift up the set, and you feel around there till you find it.
Okay, I think I've got it. You can put the set down now.
Thank you. Now, next...
Excuse me, isn't that kind of a nuisance, having the switch underneath the set that way?
Well, I don't know. That's where it's always been on the Peerless, and I've operated mine for 20 years with no problems. I just lift up the set and my wife turns it on.
Yeah, but that way you can't watch television if you're home alone.
Well, of course not. This set weighs almost 100 pounds. You definitely need one person to lift it and another to turn it on. I don't think it was necessary to explain a thing as simple as that to your listeners.
No, I guess that is obvious. Now I see we're getting kind of a fuzzy picture on the screen there, but no sound. Which button controls the volume?
That button is not on the basic set. It's on our separate Peerless sound unit that plugs into the side here. I didn't bring one of those along. It's kind of big and bulky.
Well, I guess we can just pretend we're getting sound and go on from there. Maybe you could tell us about the channel selector or something like that.
Yes, I was going to take that up next. It's this large circular dial at the top. And if your listeners will look at their sets, they'll notice that the channel selector is marked off with various symbols. Now, to find the numbers corresponding to those symbols, just take out your Persian English dictionaries and hunt for...
Excuse me for breaking in, Mr. Wolford, but are you saying the numbers on that channel selector have to be translated?
Yes, we import that particular part from Iran. So, of course, they use their own system for numbering the channels, but you get used to it after a few months.
You know, I'm beginning to wonder how much good this demonstration is really doing. Frankly, I've never seen a television set that works the way this one does.
Well, I don't know where you've been. Every model we've ever made at Peerless is just like this.
Well, maybe I've just never seen a Peerless before. And you didn't tell me on the phone that it was so different, you know.
Different from what? This new color model works exactly the same as our old black and white set. Of course, on color, you have these two wires hanging out the back to control the flesh tones. I'll demonstrate how they should be touched together to bring in more green or more purple.
Well, I don't think you need to demonstrate that. I'm sure very few of our listeners control the color by rubbing two wires together.
You're probably right. We have very few color sets on the market as yet, but, you know, they're the coming thing. So maybe I can drop back in a few years and show you how to operate one.
I think a few years would be better than right now. Thank you for dropping in today anyway, Mr. Wolford, and I hope your listeners will join us soon to learn another new skill on our next edition of Widen Your Horizons.
And now, the Kumquat Institute of America invites you to spend another educational session with the idol of the nation's youngsters, Mr. Science. As we look in on the modern, well-equipped laboratory today, we see that little Jimmy Schwab is just arriving to watch Mr. Science perform his latest fascinating experiment.
Oh, hello there, Jimmy. You're just in time to watch me perform my latest fascinating experiment.
Glorioski, Mr. Science. I was afraid I was going to be late. Ever since you made me radioactive, the Atomic Energy Commission has had me locked up. I just got out on parole a half hour ago.
Well, we'll see what we can do about neutralizing you when we get off the air after the program, Jimmy. Right now, though, I want you to look at some of these things I've laid out on the workbench.
Great day in the morning. What fascinating experiment can you conduct with that stuff, Mr. Science?
Well, Jimmy, today I'm going to demonstrate how sawdust can be made from wood.
Leapin' lizards, Mr. Science. They have sawdust on the floor at the saloon where my daddy takes me. I sure didn't know it came out of wood. I thought it came from dried beer that the bartender spilled.
No, Jimmy. You can make very good sawdust out of wood just by using this object here.
Holy Ned! What's that object called?
This is called a saw, Jimmy.
Crime and Antley's, Mr. Science. Wait till I tell the kids at school I've seen one of those.
Well, just try to control yourself, son. Keep your enthusiasm under control, and the first thing we have to do is fasten this board onto this holding tool, which I call a vise.
Jumpin' Jehoshaphat, Mr. Science. I don't understand what you're doing.
Well, it holds the board in place while we're doing that. Now watch, Jimmy.
Gee, willikers, Mr. Science. Now you've got two little boards instead of one big one.
That's right, Jimmy, but the big main thing is that we've also made sawdust. See the pile of it there on the floor?
Golly Moses, Mr. Science. I want to get down on my hands and knees and look at it closer.
You go right ahead, son. These experiments are designed for your education.
Ouch! Golly, Mr. Science, I forgot I'm allergic to sawdust.
Oh, well, I'm sorry, Jimmy. Sure, it's nothing serious.
Now for Jiminy, Mr. Science, my mom will give me the dickens if I come home with my nasal passages all aflame.
It does get up your nose a little bit, doesn't it, Jimmy?
Gosh, all hemlock, Mr. Science. I'm getting out of here before my eyes start to water.
Really, nothing to get alarmed about, Jimmy.
Mr. Science has been brought to you today by the Kumquat Institute of America. This is the last program in our current series.
Next, Mary Backstage, Noble Wife, the story of America's favorite family of the Footlights and of their fight for security and happiness against the concrete heart of Broadway.
It's shortly after yesterday's episode now in the radio studio in Ogunquit, Maine, where Harry, Mary, Pop, and Calvin are being interviewed by disc jockey Larry Lovebreath, who's greeted them on his Top 5 program, the #1 rated show in Ogunquit. And as we join the program, it's already in progress.
His little shepherd serenade.
Yeah, this is #1 here, folks. You can talk. The microphone's not on.
Oh, I didn't know. I was afraid.
I was afraid to
interrupting
say
the song.
something. I didn't know. When the music's on, you can talk. Is that it?
Yeah, that's right.
We got to learn this radio
Yeah.
business.
Yeah.
Doesn't this, you say this is #1 in Ogunquit?
This is #1. We're
Sounds
the
like
top.
Bing Crosby, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. We're the top 5 station here in town. We play the same top 5 records over and over and over.
How many hours does your program run, Larry?
Sun up to sunset. We go off at local sunset.
You do
Which is about 8:30 this time.
I mean, you're on the
here.
air all day here?
All day, yeah, playing the top 5.
Well, when do you do your selling? When do you sell new accounts?
Well, I get out at 8:30 in the evening, and I have all evening to talk.
Oh,
I want to hear this.
The world was forgotten.
Bob Houston's that his name? Yeah, Bob Houston. Terrific. Yeah, really
My
good.
every care began to fade.
This is #1 here in Ogunquit. My goodness. Too bad the folks back in New York couldn't hear this.
You got to play the other 4 top 5 favorites?
I'm going to play the #2 right after this. But first, I have a commercial, so stand by.
Suppose you keep the second and third place songs a secret till you play them, don't you?
Want you to bring it in.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, there you have it. #1 in Ogunquit this week. The Shepherd Serenade with Bob Houston. Here in the studio with yours truly, the lovable Larry Lovebreath today, is Our guests, the Backstages and these other two people, I didn't get their names.
Well, I'm Pop Beloved, tap dancer. This is Calvin L. Hoogerman.
How do you do? I'm Calvin Hoogerman. I'm in the show, too. Yeah, they're in the show, Westchester Furioso, playing here in Algonquin. And we'll get to number 2 this week in just a moment. First, we have this word for Mom and Pop's Restaurant. Say, have you ever been over there to Mom and Pop's
Yes,
Restaurant?
we ate there last night, just before the opening show.
You know, it's been my experience that the best commercial for a restaurant is a testimonial. Now, why don't you just put in your own words just how you felt about the atmosphere, the food, the service, the whole
Larry,
thing. Go right ahead.
Larry, I can only speak for all of us when I say that it was really an enjoyable meal we had at Mom and Pop's. The food there is cooked to your order. They cook one order at a time. You have to wait.
Can I just step in here?
Sure, Calvin.
Cooking now one order at a time, of course, makes for a long wait. We were there, I don't know whether that's part of the charm of the restaurant or not.
3 hours.
We were there over 3 hours, and I had a grilled cheese sandwich with a tomato slice in it. And my tomato slice was room temperature. Now, I don't know whether this is a good endorsement or not.
Well, it's an honest statement anyway,
That's all we
Calvin.
want is just honest. That's the big key word here, honest.
Anyway,
Honest.
if I were an announcer, I'd say go down to Mom and Pop's restaurant. You've got some never-to-be-forgotten scrambled eggs in store for you. It's located right on Main Street here in Algonquin, opposite the dump.
Oh, and don't forget now, tipping, of course, is permitted. Okay, moving right along here now to our number 2 song here in Algonquin this week, Captain Kangaroo singing Be Good to Mommy.
Well, say, what day is today? Well, you know, it's not the 4th of July, is it? No, and it's not Thanksgiving, nor New Year's Day. No, of course not. Do you know what day it is? Why, sure you do. It's another Be Good to Mommy Day.
And so, our friend's visit with Larry Lovebreath continues, and you'll want to join us tomorrow when we'll hear Calvin Hoogerman exclaim,
And we'll get those tickets over to you, Mr. Lovebreath, as soon as we talk to the producer.
that's in the next exciting episode of Mary Backstage Noble Wife. Word Carr speaking. Punch up line 2. Hello.
Well, I'm waiting for Bob and Ray.
Yeah, you got through to us, sir.
Oh, good. Is this both Bob and Ray on in now?
No, just Bob. Ray went downstairs for some chocolate-covered cherries.
I just wanted to tell you that for both of you fellas, if brains were dynamite, you wouldn't have enough.
Come in, please, Wally Ballou.
Galway, New Jersey. This is Wally Ballou. And with me, of course, as usual, is a gentleman you have come to know and feel like he's one of the family, Mr. Gilmore, the manager of the Trophy Train. I guess our destination is fairly set now, Mr. Gilmore. Is that right?
Yes, we're heading down into the Red Bank area.
Uh-huh.
We're going to stop here in Rahway today, make a left turn here at the Union Terminal, and we should be on the siding in Red Bank along about 7 o'clock tonight for a hot time in the old town.
Wonderful. And speaking of a hot time, I know that one of the hot items in the food concession here on the train is the New England clam chowder that you've just added to the menu. It's been going great guns in Woonsocket and here in Rahway so far.
Yes, it's a big number.
Could you give away the recipe secrets?
Well, it's been in the family for years, but if you'd like to hear my grandmother's recipe for it?
Yeah, I think
Sure.
everybody would.
Well, you take some spray-dried fat, vegetable fat, corn syrup solids, some sodium caseinate, mono and diglycerides,
Uh-huh.
dipotassium phosphate, sodium silicoaluminate, artificial flavor and color, some modified food starch, a pinch of whey solids, dehydrated potatoes.
Wait a minute. Whey, was that?
W-H-E-Y.
Right, okay.
Whey solids. Dehydrated potatoes. Oh, just a pinch of non-fat dry milk. Some dehydrated onions. Just use your own judgment
Yeah,
on
right,
that.
right.
Salt, monosodium glutamate, clam powder, vegetable gum.
This was your grandmother's recipe?
Yeah, it's been in the family for years and years. Now, where they let off here? Vegetable
Clam
gum.
powder, I think.
Yes. Artificial flavor, buttermilk solids, and some dehydrated garlic.
If you'd like a copy of the recipe, I guess you just have to send it, your request in care of the trophy train, and eventually we would get your request.
It's available now, of course, without prescription.
Right. And that's about the story here from the Bob and Ray Trophy train, which will be moving down toward Red Bank, and we'll be reporting perhaps later if we're able to, as we're called in. Right now, this is Wally Ballou. Welcome now to General Pharmacy, the dramatic story of handsome young druggist Ross Flecknoy, his struggle to save humanity at the prescription counter of a pharmacy still technically owned by his aging father. As our scene opens today, Ross is carefully itemizing his stock of salves and ointments when a well-dressed gentleman who's totally unknown to him approaches the prescription counter.
Excuse me, I'm totally unknown to you, but I happen to be respected financier Dalton Shabby. News just came over the ticker that I've been virtually wiped out by an unexpected sell-off in cocoa futures. So naturally, I need this prescription filled.
Very well. I'm afraid you'll have to wait until I finish itemizing my salves and ointments. If I lose count now, I'll have to start all over again.
I understand. But it still mystifies me why every major cocoa speculator in the world would choose to sell at the same time.
Good morning, Mr. Shavy. Remember me, Corky Watt, the ambitious young man you always tip an extra $1 for shining your shoes in front of the bank? Except you didn't show up there this morning, and I was worried.
Well, I'm afraid I won't be going to the bank anymore, son. I have no money left there. It all went into cocoa futures on margin.
Okay, I can fill your prescription now, sir.
I had fully expected to double my fortune in a matter of days. But the market opened this morning with a sharp downside move, and I was wiped out.
I've saved every one of those dollar tips you ever gave me, Mr. Shavy. And I have almost enough now to hire another kid to work for me, shining shoes over on the west side.
There's nothing left now but my rambling estate overlooking the city. And I'm sure it'll soon have to go to pay off my creditors.
If the prescription's been filled here before, I could look up the number in the file. That's one of the many humanitarian services I perform.
To think how many years I skillfully traded commodities to buy that estate. And now there's no telling where I'll live or what I'll do.
The way I look at it, I could furnish the polish and rags for another kid and still make a profit having him work on straight salary. Before long, I'll have hundreds of employees all over the country. I'm a real go-getter.
I'm only 52 years old. That's still the prime of life for most tycoons. But look at me. I'm finished.
Once I get about 50 kids hired, I'll be able to buy my shoe polish wholesale. After that, the sky's the limit. Representatives overseas, my own polishing factory, maybe even a shoe shine conglomerate.
The worst of it is that I'll never be able to get full market value for my rambling estate overlooking the city. Not after potential buyers find out I'm in financial distress.
I'm afraid I'll have to fill somebody else's prescription first if you won't give me yours, sir.
Oh, that's all right. Doesn't make any difference now. Take this grubby little kid first if you want.
Oh, I don't have a prescription. I'm so charged with ambition that I've never had a sick day in my life.
You're very fortunate, my boy. Good health is something money can't buy.
Yeah, but pretty soon I'll have the money to buy anything else I want. With my get up and go, I wouldn't even be surprised if I wind up living in that big rambling estate that overlooks the city. And I'll bet it'd cost $1 million.
I'd be willing to let it go for $700,000.
Sold.
Excellent. With that money, I can recoup my losses in the market in a month. Just wait and see if I don't.
And so handsome young druggist Ross Flecknoy again provides a hopeless case with the will to live. But can even the most dedicated pharmacist remain free of heartbreak? Be sure to join us next time when we'll hear the president of the New York Commodity Exchange say,
Nice try, Shavy, but the kid's check bounced.
That's in the next exciting episode of General Pharmacy. This is Wally Ballou in Red Bank, New Jersey. And for the first time, I didn't begin my broadcast being upcut. So that must be something to do with the weather or something such as that. Mr. Gilmore, there are throngs of people here trying to get on the trophy train in Red Bank. What do you count, how do you count for that?
Don't know. Apparently, it's just been a turn of good luck.
Right.
course, the weather can help. You know, I have discovered as I've traveled across the country with the Bob and Ray Trophy train that weather has a remarkable influence on people's whole outlook, their morale generally. I mean, on a hot, sticky day, people are a little down.
Certainly true. I've noticed that myself in some of the cities we visited. On rainy days, it could be that way, or heavy humidity days like we've been having. But of course, it's so beautiful today. I guess
cord is loose. I
guess
think.
everyone wanted to come out and go aboard the trophy train.
Microphone cord.
Of the
Loose.
foods that are going over on the train now today, Mr. Gilmore, any significant change in the selections of the people going aboard?
Hot custard and some...
How about arrow and crab cakes?
baked beans. As,
Well, someone seems to have fallen off the rear step of the car directly to our
and
left.
cocktails we've just added.
Wonderful. That's the report for now. Is Wally Ballou reporting from Headbank. Hi, I'm Rex Reason, and seated across from me today is Fenton B. Denton.
Yes, here I am, Fenton B. Denton, seated across from you today. And, you know, actually, I'd be Fenton B. Denton if I wasn't seated across from you today.
That could be. The real reason we're all gathered here is to take you behind the scenes of the new lottery movie called The Massachusetts State Lottery, a Movie.
They really burned the midnight oil on that title, didn't they?
They did, but the main reason we're reviewing this movie is our ongoing relationship with the lottery, including some radio commercials we did about how easy it is to play the numbers and megabucks games.
Now, they were perfectly plausible.
And absolutely logical.
Of course, we both attended the Southern California Night School Extension program on lottery movie reviewing.
That could be a factor, but I doubt it, since the Southern California Night School Extension program of lottery movie reviewing is now a Storm Window Company.
Yeah, and they make pretty good windows, too.
So I've heard.
We're going to use our lottery knowledge and introduce you to a lot of winning personalities and engaging sales agents. And we'll learn about a true-to-life saga wherein a lot of people win a lot of money, and worthy taxpayers benefit from the whole program.
Well, I've seldom seen worthier people than taxpayers. I've always said that.
Yes, you have, but it's true anyway.
But now, here is the lottery movie and one of my favorite scenes with Massachusetts State Treasurer and Chairman of the lottery, Bob Crane, shopping.
Just like you and I.
Next, Mary Backstage, Noble Wife. The story of America's favorite family of the footlights and their fight for security and happiness against the concrete heart of Broadway. Today, Mary, Harry, Pop, Calvin, and Greg Marlowe take a bit of a vacation to enjoy the annual 4th of July clam bake on the beach at Ogunquit, Maine. And as we join them, they're just about finished with their meal.
Boy, that lobster was pretty good.
Yeah, it sure was. The corn and the cob and the potatoes.
I had a hard time getting through the shell of that lobster. When I got to it, though, the meat was pretty good.
Oh, yeah. And what a beautiful warm day.
You didn't eat the claw, did you? The shell. No, I didn't.
No, he didn't eat the shell, Mary.
It's too difficult. It's too tough. I imagine it's rich in protein, though, if you could do it. Oh, no, I don't think you could eat the shell. I don't know. Would it be rich in protein?
Well, it would if you felt like eating it, but it wouldn't be very tasty, I don't think.
Well, it didn't seem to be tasty.
It wouldn't be very good on the
tough.
teeth either.
No.
Tried to munch it, I don't
But
think.
sometimes, you know, this time of the year when some of the lobsters start shedding their shells and growing a thin outer one, I imagine that would be a rich source of protein.
Yes, it could be. Say, look, there's the high school band getting ready to
protein
give us a
is
concert.
Wonderful thing I hear all the time now about protein.
I remember band concerts when I was a boy on the village green.
Rich in protein is very important nowadays.
Yes, we used to have them in Skunk Haven, too. I wonder what they're doing back there, Mary.
I'm sorry, I was listening to Calvin. What are you talking
I say, I wonder what they're doing back in Skunk Haven this afternoon.
I have no idea. What would they be doing last year?
Might be having their annual bonfire. They usually do that. It built railroad ties up.
Yeah, rich in protein is very important. I hear that in a lot of commercials on the radio now and TV. Rich in protein.
Look, there's the band in its full Ogunquit uniform marching down the beach.
I picked up shampoo the other day that was rich in protein.
Yeah, you could get it with lemon oil, too.
Well, but I like it rich in protein.
I like lemonade myself. I could drink a whole pitcher of that. I had plenty with my lobster.
You can get some skin lotion that's rich in protein, too, now. Almost everything is rich in protein, except ginger ale. I bet you I've been through every soft drink department in every big store, and I can't find any ginger ale rich in protein.
You know what I like to do in those big supermarkets is look at the labels and see which one has the fewer additives.
Oh, well, that would be some job trying to find that.
Yeah, you can do that with yogurt, though. I know they do that.
Is yogurt rich in protein?
They check through. Oh, I guess so, yes. Very good.
Is that the Notre Dame song they're playing there?
Yeah, I heard they play here every year at this Ogunquit Clam Bake.
Is the Notre Dame band?
No, this is the Ogunquit High School.
Oh, I was going to say, it look old enough to be college students.
Yeah, lemonade is a refreshing beverage.
It's no protein in it, though.
No, but the citric acid, that's good for you. Vitamin C.
Oh, that's good to fight berry.
Well, I'm not using it to fight berry.
Well, you can fight berry with it.
I know you can, but I don't have berry.
Well, you don't have berry because you've been fighting it with lemonade.
Hey, that could be, I suppose. I never thought of that.
A steamer's rich in protein. Boy,
they were
steamers.
Good.
Yeah, steamers are probably rich in iodine. They come from the ocean, you see.
Oh, is that good? I know I used to put iodine on my cuts when I was a little fella.
Well, it's much the same thing.
Oh, there they go. There go the fireworks.
Wow.
Oh.
Hi, that's a Roman candle. Yes, that's a beautiful display.
Look at those little, like wormies, they skitter through the sky. That must be a new type of firework.
They look like mare's tails. Like what? Mare's tails. You know those little wispy clouds that go up like that? They mean bad weather in Kelly, I think.
You mean you can tell the weather by the fireworks?
No, by clouds. These fireworks look like that kind of a cloud.
Oh,
look at this.
Must be the end. They're all going off together now. Yeah, this has been certainly a 4th of July to remember.
And so our friends continue to enjoy the festivities on the beach of Ogunquit. And tomorrow return to the theater for their evening chores. And you want to be here when we'll hear Mary say,
Calvin's wallet is gone.
That's tomorrow in the next exciting episode of Mary Backstage Noble Wife. Word Carr speaking. Just a brief word from the Monongahela Metal Foundry. Ladies, we don't expect you to take our word that Monongahela steel ingots are brighter and shinier than old-fashioned brands. Make a simple comparison test for yourself. Just drag one of your present ingots out in the yard on a sunny day and place it next to one of ours. If the Monongahela ingot doesn't shine more brightly, even without long hours of polishing, your money will be cheerfully refunded. You have nothing to lose, so order a carload delivered to your rail siding today.
And now, the United States Post Office, producers and distributors of stamps, invite you to ride with the men of Squad Car 119.
My name's Sam Finch. Me and my partner, Ralph R. Kruger, Jr., we're the unsung heroes of the police force. We ride a prowl car at night through the good residential sections and through the slums, always trying to protect the law-abiding from the law-breaking. One evening last week, we were cruising through our territory when my partner, Ralph R. Kruger, Jr., turned to me and said,
I see that grocery store is having a special on liverwurst, Sam.
Is that right?
Yeah, liverwurst sandwich with cheese makes the best kind of bedtime snack you can eat.
Yeah, that store's not having a special on cheese, though. They probably get you into the store with an offer of cheap liverwurst and then soak you plenty for the cheese.
Yeah, you're probably right. I worked on a case with Glimmet once where we sent up a grocery store owner for using that very M.O.
Yeah, it's used a lot, successfully, too, quite a number of times.
Calling Car 119. Car 119, the fire is raging out of control at 6127 San Pedro. Property owner suspects an arsonist. Check it out.
That's us, Ralph R. Jr. Let's roll. Always like to work on a fire job. All those big engines, the brass all polished up.
The hook and ladders, that's what I like. The guy sits on the back seat and steers. Last arson case I worked on, they let me sit up on the back seat. Of course, the engine was just parked in the firehouse. Boy, that was a thrill.
Yeah, battalion chief let me pet his dog one time. You know those big white ones with the black spots?
Yeah, I got to slide down a fire pole once. Man, that's living.
Sure hope the firemen fighting this one brought their dog along. They're wonderful dogs to pet. Big white ones with black spots.
Gee, this is the address of the dispatch he gave us. The building's ruined, but the fire trucks have all left.
Yeah.
Maybe we could chase them back to the firehouse, and they'd let us sit up on one of those engines.
Yeah, it's an idea. They probably took their dog with them, too. They're wonderful dogs, big and white with black spots. Well, if we're going to the firehouse, I'd like to stop and pick up some dog biscuits on the way. Dog likes you when you feed him.
Well, if you're going to stop for dog biscuits, let's not go to that grocery store that was having a special on liverwurst. They probably soak you plenty for dog biscuits in a place like that.
Yeah, you're right. They would.
Calling car 119, car 119. Disregard that call to 6127 San Pedro. The arsonist has been picked up by the men of squad car 8. He's been identified, booked, and brought to trial. In a moment, the results of that trial.
And while we're waiting to hear the results of today's exciting case, just a word about your United States Post Office. Friends, the glue on your 10-cent stamps now contains an alkaline solution that brings instant relief from heartburn, acid indigestion, or that achy feeling from a cold. Lick a few stamps tonight and you'll wake up tomorrow feeling like a million.
The suspect in that arson case convinced the jury that he set fire to a pile of gasoline-soaked rags in an empty warehouse by accident. His story that he had broken into the warehouse looking for something to steal won him an acquittal. He's now suing the city for false arrest.
And so justice once again prevails thanks to the unsung heroes of the police force, the men who ride the squad cars at night.
Close in 5 minutes.